Welcome back, fellow chess enthusiasts. In my previous video on the number of possible chess moves, I mentioned that on Lichess there remain 96 unplayed moves. They are all capture checkmates, with 45 belonging to the white king, and the remaining 51 split between 2 bishop and 49 king moves for black. Before I update you on any changes to those values, let me first clarify that I defined a move by where the piece started, then if it captured or not, where the piece moved to, and if it also resulted in check, checkmate, or neither. So this excellent bishop move by black would be notated as bishop e5 to b8. It's so excellent it gives white 3 options to capture checkmate with its bishops. Since the starting square is specified in the notation, disambiguation, necessary in standard PGN notation, is none of my concern. There were also a couple of comments in my previous video about how this pawn capture and this one are the same move. I will concede that the pawn starts on the same square, ends on the same square, captures a piece, and even the standard notation is identical. If I'm conceding so much, why won't I concede they are the same move? Because the FIDE Handbook, section 3.7.3, describes how a pawn may capture, yet goes on to specifically mention in 3.7.3.1 and 2 how and when en passant is a legal move. Check and mate, comment section. But just when I was about to earn that sweet internet elo, someone commented about stalemates. I would imagine most people watching this video know what that is, but if not, here's an example from the 1978 World Chess Championship match between Viktor Korchnoi and Anatoly Karpov. This particular game is already drawn, but on the 123rd move of the game, Korchnoi puts Karpov in check. The black king only has one legal move, and that is to h7. Korchnoi decides to end the game by moving his bishop to g7. How is this stalemate? First, the king is clearly not in check by any of white's pieces. Second, black has no legal moves. The bishop keeps the black king from moving along the h-file, and the white king prevents moves to the g-file. On the other side of the board, the white pawn is blocking the advancement of black's pawn. When a side has no legal moves and is not in check, the game ends in stalemate. So is this cute little raccoon's comment trolling or genius? My only course of action was to do what I assume anyone else does when they receive such a comment on the internet. I let it live rent-free in my head. After a bit of tweaking, including that of my code, I decided to search for the 7,558 possible stalemating moves per side, which are just the non-check and checkmate moves. Hello, the editing chemist here. In my previous video, I claimed there were 22,418 moves in the game. This would become 29,976 if you consider the stalemate moves to be unique. I suppose an argument can be made for this since they can be played on purpose to avoid losing. And how many of them are still waiting to be played? None. They had all been played by the end of 2022, because in that year black played its final move in March with its pawn, and white followed in November with its queen. Up to September 2024, I found just over 47 million stalemates. In them, the white king has been used most often to, purposely or not, deliver a stalemate, but overall black has forced stalemate 17,000 times more than white has. If you've had enough of my interpretation of FIDE rules and stalemate side quests, it's time to update the remaining moves. Here are the number of moves that haven't been played as of June 2024. After analyzing 89 million games from July, I found one new king checkmate for black. Then in August, 91 million games were analyzed, and again one new king checkmate for black was found. Finally, the 87 million games in September were checked, and one new king checkmate for white was found. For those counting, that's 267 million games, and only 3 of the 96 missing moves had been played. I had speculated that the bishop moves would be played by January 2025, and I suppose there's still a chance, as neither of them were played in the last 3 months. As for the kings, I predicted it would take about 4 years for the remaining moves to be played, and if it's wrong, I would imagine it will take longer. Before I go, there was one comment that caught my eye, not because it was glowing praise or hilariously snarky, but appalled at me keeping the remaining bishop moves from you. I promise you I wasn't being a jerk. It's the wise words of Dr. Ian Malcolm that come to mind. If I told you the moves that haven't been played, you would try to go out and play them on purpose. That was something I wanted to avoid. But that comment didn't catch my eye because they were annoyed with me, rather it was getting quite a few likes, which you can see is currently 574. As I was watching the number climb, I became amused at the thought of a single comment having more likes than all of my non-chess videos combined. I responded that I would post the starting squares if it surpassed the total by update time. So did it? Unfortunately for all of you, that comment didn't quite reach its goal as my other videos have more likes. But I'm not mean. I'm fully prepared to give you 2 clues to help you find the missing moves. First, one of the bishop moves involves the light square bishop, and the other the dark square bishop. Good luck, and thank you very much for watching.